This is C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian Advocate. And of course, this one will be connected with the Citizen Advocate. Part of our video here. And the reason being is because I just watched the upload of Fox News's talks when it came to Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell did the most American thing, the most positive American thing. And of course, the liberal idiot Schumer, the socialist old dumbass, thinks that, Chuck Schumer was not going by the Constitution and what the American people wanted. Mitch McConnell did everything within the Constitution, within what was appropriate and logical, and what the American people would want. And Chuck Schumer said there's less supporters of Donald J. Trump than there was during his election. That's a load of shit. It's because of the illogical shit that Pelosi's done, even in the sense of wasting taxpayers' money and time with this illogical impeachment bullshit, that there has been more and more supporters of Donald J. Trump. Thereby, there's more than there was in the beginning in 2016 of the election of 2016. There's more Trump supporters in America alone, in every state practically, if not totally, than there was in 2016. Partly because, or a good percentage is because Trump stood by what he said he was going to do. He stood by everything that he said he was going to work on, and he accomplished it in a much shorter time than any other candidate before him. Thereby, he stood by his promises. He stood by his word. What he promised the American people, he accomplished it. And he's continuously accomplishing many, many things that he's promised, even in the speech that he did earlier yesterday. February 4th, I believe it was. Chuck Schumer is a socialist lying bitch. Yes, he's a bitch. He's a woman, obviously, in man's clothing. The basic fact is that he's saying that the liberal Democrats were looking for the truth. No, they weren't. They were looking for the truth that fit them, the socialist agenda. They were looking for the truth that fit their agenda, their vision of America, which is not positive, not logical in any way, not even spiritual. That doesn't show any positive benefit for the American people. What does show positive benefit for the American people and our youth is what Donald J. Trump has done in his term in office, and he's going to continue doing it even in 2020, even after he gets put back in office in accordance to the Constitution after the election of 2020. That I can promise you. I know for a fact, if Donald J. Trump promised it and then didn't pull through, hey, who's to say what I say, even on these videos, even on the one I did last night. But it's not directed to that, now, is it? Chuck Schumer said that he said that what the whole bullshit is that, oh, the other Republicans are afraid of Trump. Trump is a bull, like Trump's some sort of a fucking bully when he's not. Chuck Schumer is a sad excuse for a human being, and he's not a true American. Chuck Schumer is another one of Nancy Pelosi's lapdogs. Chuck Schumer knows that the American people didn't want the impeachment inquiry. Therefore, there was no real logical reason and realistic reason for such of an action, regardless of political and non-political differences. Chuck Schumer is just a fucking whiny bitch. And also, in collaboration with the opposing party, Mitt Romney befriended Chuck Schumer. That's his spiritual and constitutional right to do that, but he did it in also a political way in the sense of going against Trump, thereby going against the Constitution and the American people. And I have a feeling, even after this video, there might be a news conference with Mitt Romney to find out if there's any truth to that. And he may deny it. He may wholeheartedly deny it in defense of him when it comes to when it comes to the American people viewing him as a true American about the people and for the people in the Constitution, and if he's a true American, along with many other aspects to it, even spiritually. And yes, I can say that he is Mitt Romney is a Latter-day Saints person, but so am I. But there's only one difference, though. Mitt Romney turned his back on America. So did Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer said that the liberals walked out of the Senate building with their head held high. That's a load of shit. And they think that they know the truth. They don't know. The only truth that they have is when it comes to what fits their agenda, their little fantasy world, not what really fits what's beneficial for the American people and our youth in this country. Chuck Schumer is a self-righteous little freak. He's not for and about the Constitution. In fact, if Hillary was in office, he'd back the fucking fact of taking the Fourth Amendment out. Thereby, you fuck with the Constitution. And as I've said before, you fuck with the Constitution in any negative way, you fuck with the American people in this country, and you will lose. You are un-American if you fuck with the Constitution in any negative way, Chuck Schumer. And Hillary Clinton already knows this, because I've said it in one of my other videos. You, Chuck Schumer, have lied to the American people again. You call it a sad day for this country and the American people? No, it's a happy day. Because the basic fact is that Donald J. Trump has done, again, many things that he promised the American people in 2016 and during his campaign of 2016, and he's completed it in a much shorter time than any other candidate before him. You don't like that, do you, Chuck Schumer? So you'll just try to fucking bash him any way you think you can. You think that the fucking American people will back you on that shit? You think I'm gonna back you on that shit? Guess again, fucking dumbass sinner, Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, you will definitely follow Nancy Pelosi in the sense of going in the pits of hell. You will go in the pits of hell. because you are not for the American people. You are not for and about this country, and nor the Constitution, and you know that. You just want to act like you are when you're really not. You want to fucking keep on deceiving and BSing the American people, and I'm not gonna allow that. Neither is Heavenly Father himself. So you better fucking count your fucking blessings, man, because you will be dealt with. And I don't do threats. I make promises. In one way or another, even with your conscience. Chuck Schumer, your conscience will eat away at you. Your conscience will make you pay for all the bullshit and deceiving, illogical, sinful words that you've said that you know damn well are not true. Yet you want to act like they are and try to look pretty in front of the cameras and say, "Oh, we're about the truth, like the American people." You're not about the truth. The American people, yeah, they're about the truth. I'm about the truth. Trump is about the truth. The rest of the Republican, conservative, and regular Republican Party is about the truth. The liberal, socialist Democrats are no longer about the truth. So guess what, Chuck Schumer? You just made your life a living hell by bullshitting the American people once again. Even after your other speeches in the middle of the impeachment inquiry, which was not, and again, the impeachment inquiry was not necessary at all. And you do not follow the Constitution to the letter at all, Chuck Schumer. Don't fucking say you do, because you don't. You're forced to, because if you don't, you'll be kicked out of office. But you're doing it in such a way that you think you can get away with. Chuck Schumer, you are the most sinful jackass next to Nancy Pelosi. You are not about the American people, Chuck Schumer, as I've said before. And you will never be, obviously, because you are only about the socialist agenda. And I've said in my videos, nobody, no American person wants a socialist country. Nobody wants a repeat of what happened during the Hitler regime before and during World War II, when Hitler was trying to completely take over England and Germany. His sadomasochistic shit that he did to innocent people, even to put innocent people who never did a damn thing wrong and put them in concentration camps. No true logically minded person wants the same thing to happen in the US of A. But I know you, Chuck Schumer, you want socialism, just like Nancy Pelosi does. You want power, money, corruption, and control. You want a big government, Chuck Schumer. I know that for a fact. Everybody has lost respect for you in the U.S., Chuck Schumer. Everybody with any logical common sense has, really, to be honest. Anybody who truly cares for and about themselves as well as this country and the American people and this country and also the freedoms and rights that they currently have thanks to the in accordance to the Constitution and thanks to the Constitution and thanks to our forefathers. Mitch McConnell, I salute you. Good job, brother. Mitch McConnell did the right thing. Chuck Schumer, quit acting like a little whiny ass child and quit lying about Trump and Mitch McConnell and the rest of the Republican Party. Nobody fears Trump. Trump is no one. Trump is no one to fear. The basic fact is he's not. He's one. He's one that even Mitch McConnell has sided with more than once. Yes, there might be some disagreements in the party, such as yours, Chuck. And I know there's not 100% of an agreement in your party, Chuck Schumer. So you can't say it. There's a more than an agreement than there isn't a disagreement in the Democratic Party. That's a load of shit. That's a pipe dream. If you want to go by that, you might as well say whatever Nancy Pelosi says, we side with. Whatever Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton say, we side with. In essence, Chuck Schumer, you are afraid of Nancy Pelosi. You are a fucking blue pilled fucking weak ass simp in the MGTOW sense when it comes to Nancy Pelosi and the other females within the liberal socialist Democratic Party. You're not a true man on top of that, Chuck Schumer. You're a little insignificant child, Chuck Schumer. You are a big fucking time sinner. You have lied to the American people every chance you think you got and have gotten, even before the administration of Donald J. Trump. And before Donald J. Trump ever became our president, you've been lying to the American people, Chuck Schumer. Thereby, from here on through, your conscience is going to eat away at you until you fucking are dead more than 10 feet under. Guaranteed. You know you have lied to the American people even after the Senate vote. You know you have lied when it comes to how many supporters there has been even during and after the 2016 election. You know you have lied to the American people on every level, especially when it comes to what you say. Oh, we had our heads held high as we walked out of the Senate building because we knew of the truth. No, 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 no. Socialism is not the truth. It doesn't go with the base of the truth. Socialism is the base of a certain political and not so much non-political agenda that goes against the Constitution of this country, that goes against the freedoms and rights and American way of life of and for the American people and our youth. Socialism is only about greed, corruption, power, and control, much like it was in the Hitler regime, equal to it, really, basically identical to it, really, to be honest. So Chuck Schumer, you want to fucking deal with somebody? Try to deal with me. Because you know you can't, because I'm one of the American people, as well as many other people out there are the American people. Everybody who's watching this video is the American person. And if you, Mitch McConnell, are watching, you're you're saluted, and good job on your job there, and getting getting the impeachment bullshit thrown out to where Donald J. Trump is acquitted, even with the fact that there was no real logical reason for the impeachment at all. Chuck Schumer, you want to deal with me? Come on. I'm ready. I can deal with a lot of your shit, man. You know I can. You want to try to fucking deal with me? Face to face with me? Come on. You know you won't be able to do anything because I won't believe anything you say, for one. Because you are only about socialism and the un American bullshit that you've even mouthed. I am for the true American way of life, freedom and our rights, and in accordance to the Constitution of the United States of America. You, Chuck Schumer, are not. You may have been at one time, long, long ago, but obviously, since you've gotten older, you've gotten more stupid, Chuck Schumer. Donald J. Trump has done many, many positive things for this country in business and being, of course, before he became president and during his presidency. And in fact, Chuck Schumer, you know damn well that Donald J. Trump said, without malice, without even a question, that he doesn't consider himself a politician. Regardless if he's in the White House, a person can go by that. That's their God-given right, even in constitutional right. But the basic fact is that you hate the fucking fact that he's done everything for this country, that Trump has done everything for this country in a short amount of time for one, and that totally more than benefits the American people and our youth and this country all in one, in every positive level. You have lost your fucking humanity, Chuck Schumer. You have lost your fucking humanity and your fucking spiritual positive love and care for this country and the American people and our youth. You've gone to the points of Satan's minions. And it's sad to see that Mitt Romney would consider you a friend in that aspect. No true Latter-day Saints person and member would collaborate anything or even associate themselves with one such as you, Chuck Schumer. Mitt Romney, you are not a true Latter-day Saint. I'm not using that in spiritual judgment. I'm just saying that because obviously, if you have some sort of hate or dislike or anything, that should be personal between yourself and Heavenly Father. No one else. Not even the media should know this. But of course, you're a politician, right? You're a politician. You think you're doing something what's best for this country and the American people and your state. Yes, again, dumbass. Anytime you go against the president that has done everything positive, like Ronald Reagan and what Abraham Lincoln has done that was positive for this country, even the things that George H. and George W. Bush have done that's positive for this country. Even with the fact that Donald J. Trump has done many things positive in a short amount of time that are positive and beneficial for the American people and our youth and this country all in one. You have the fucking justification, Mitt Romney, to fucking bash the president, to go against the president and decide with the liberal idiot, Chuck Schumer, and his associates or constituents. You're not a true man of God, Mitt Romney. And I'm not saying that in the spiritual judgment or human judgment. It's a basic fact. It speaks loudly than any of those things. You're a disgrace to your place in the church, Mitt Romney. You're a disgrace in the base of humanity. Thereby, you can never call yourself a humanitarian. You want to make it up. Show me that you can make it up. Show the church that you can make it up. Show the American people that you can make it up in the sense of making sure that you support and side with Donald J. Trump for one in what's beneficial and positive for this country and our youth and your children, and as well as everyone else's child or children, and the futures for all, including in this country. The positive futures, not the socialism type futures. And the way to start is disattach yourself from Chuck Schumer. Or be an outcast. Because Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Darrell Steinberg, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Tom Steyer, Mike Bloomberg are complete outcasts. Un-American little fuckheads. Socialist little jackasses. Who only want things for themselves. They don't care what happens to the American people. They've even said, Mitt Romney, that they are there for socialism in the very first fucking campaign in the DNC. Yet you want to consider yourself a true American by siding with Chuck Schumer? You want to consider yourself a true, loyal, positive, spiritual man, especially when it comes to the base of, say, the Latter-day Saints? You want to consider yourself a humanitarian? You can, but you'll be lying to yourself, and your conscience will be eating away at you, guaranteed, starting tonight. Anybody who doesn't side with the positive things that the that Donald J. Trump has done for this country, and he will continue to do for this country, will have their conscience eat away at them. Anybody who sides with the liberal socialist Democrats and their agenda will have their conscience eat away at them. I don't care if you believe me or not, but it's the damn truth. It will happen. Chuck Schumer, you are the most insignificant waste of space of human of being a human being in the sense of a human being aspect. Right there, seriously. No true caring human being would bullshit the American people and deceive the American people like you have, even after the Senate vote and decision. Therefore, lie through your teeth even to the reporters that were sitting right in front of you, and you chose who could ask you the questions like you were the ruler of all. Fucking dumbass, Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell, you did a good job there. And I know that I have a strong belief and faith that Trump is not only acquitted, but he's going to be in the 2020 election as a victor. The basic fact is we're going to have another loser. Be that even if Bernie Sanders faces Donald J. Trump, if he's so chosen, which I know he won't be. He wasn't in the last one, or he wasn't even in the last two chosen. Even before they had the campaign situation between Obama and Hillary. Of who would be the best one to go against John McCain at the time. Yes, Obama won. Obama was the chosen one. But then he turned and made Hillary his Secretary of State, which was the biggest fucking mistake that he's ever done, including bullshitting the American people, deceiving the American people, slamming the door on C-SPAN and the Republican Party, acting like a child saying, "Oh, I won, get over it." Slam the door like that. Come on, that's childish. Then on top of that, allowing his wife to use presidential powers against the Mars Company when it comes to king size Snickers, and then having her do the same thing in the presidential powers when it comes to Olive Garden, expecting and having her go to them and tell them, "Oh, don't let the child decide what to eat. Let the parents decide for them." And yet, guess what, Michelle Obama? The base of raising a child, and you know this, and I know you practice this, is that you allow the child to decide for themselves. But you don't want the American people to do that, no. In the sense of making sure that the Olive Garden had the parents decide for the child instead of allowing the child to show that they have a right to choose what they want to eat in accordance to what was on the menu that they would be able to eat. All of this, plus many other things that I've said in each one of my videos, the liberal socialist Democrats have done. Even when it comes to not being in front of the camera and flashing lights of the photo shoots that Obama always wanted to do, like he was some sort of fucking celebrity when he's not. Even with the fact that Obama needed a teleprompter to be told what to say and how to say it. That's the biggest joke of a president that we've ever had, if you really want to call him a president. Granted, of course, in historical aspects, he will be considered that, yes. But of course, what was a joke was the fact that, in accordance to what's known as Black History Month, and I don't like it being called that, but of course, it could be renamed something else that's more appropriate, but okay. But in any case, everybody, the news media especially, looked up to Obama in accordance to the Black History Month because he was the first African American, if you want to call it that, and I don't like calling it that. But in any case, he was the first one in in that ethnicity circle, if you want to call it that as well, which I don't. First person in that sense to be put into the electoral aspects of the White House. Even with the fact that he lied and deceived the American people. He lied to and deceived the American people. And he knew he was doing it. And he knew that he couldn't keep all the things that he said he was going to do. And he knew he didn't plan on keeping a good, large percentage of what he said he was going to do. And case in point, he proved it. And instead, he did the complete opposite of what he said he was going to do. Continuously on both of his terms. Thank Heavenly Father for Donald J. Trump on that one. And I will thank Heavenly Father once Donald J. Trump is put in office again for 2020. Because Heavenly Father knows, Mitt Romney, that Donald J. Trump kept his word, kept his promises, and he did it in a short amount of time than any other candidate in this country's history. And you know it as well, Mitt Romney. And so does Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell knows this as well. And I'm not against Mitch McConnell because he did a good thing. He made sure that Trump was acquitted. Even though there might be some more things to deal with, hey, that's the way it needs to be, right? But the basic fact is, Trump will be acquitted if he hasn't already been. Chuck Schumer, from here on out, your conscience will be eating away at you. And so it will happen the same to every other socialist, liberal, dumbass Democrat, even in the state of California. Even the ones that are in Washington governing or so-called supporting California in any political office and non-political office. Those who deceive and lie to the American people, your conscience will be eating away at you, even in your sleep. Chuck Schumer, numero uno, it'll happen to you and Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Obama, Michelle Obama. It'll be eating away at Mitt Romney. It'll be eating away at Carter, Jimmy Carter, that is. Because when Jimmy Carter was in office as our president in the 1970s, he didn't really do that much good, anyways. Gas prices were skyrocketing ever so steadily. The basic job situations was almost faltering to a way more than low. How do I know this? I was born in the 1970s. Yes, I was a young child then, but I know as I grew up, I learned more about this country's history in many different ways and avenues and such like that. That's how I knew. That's how I know. The basic fact is, Chuck Schumer, you are the most illogical, un-American idiot that this country has ever had, next to Nancy Pelosi, next to every other liberal, socialist, dumb ass, and bitch that there has ever been in any political genre or standing, or however you want to put it. The basic fact is, ever since JFK was assassinated, the liberals have gone to the points to where they don't feel like they're being benefited even while they help the American people get get a positive benefit. Therefore, they've changed their fucking ways. They want to be benefited before the American people are benefited. Thereby, they're going towards the base of socialism, what Hitler did. In what goes to where this country would be filled with, in various locations, concentration camps. And those who didn't go and agree with and side with the socialist liberal agenda and their so-called policies, they'd be able to change anytime they want to, and their decisions anytime they wanted to, just like Hitler did many times, even before World War II and during WW2. That a number, practically almost the whole entire population of this country's citizens, legal citizens, will be in those camps if the liberals get their way. If the liberal, socialist, jackass Democrats get their way. American people, I'm telling you the truth on that one. And in historical things should have taught us, if at anything at all, socialism is the fucking most sinful acts of humanity that's ever been done. The Hitler regime proved it in the history of this planet. Not in the history of just WW2, in which our country eventually joined into, right? In to get Hitler out of power. In efforts at getting Hitler out of power, in which we eventually did. It took some time actually, granted, yes. I think the last part was around 45 that we completed World War II, even against those idiots who bombed us over in Pearl Harbor. And the whole thing was completed by at least the beginning part of 46, the latter part of 45. After we dealt with what we dealt with in with Hitler, we went into external extra efforts in the sense of teaching those who bombed us in at Pearl Harbor never to fuck with the U.S. of A. because we are the dominant power for one. We believe in freedom, the American way of life, and where every American person has rights as well as freedoms. Nobody is to take that away from us. And yes, we had to literally atom bomb those who attacked us in Pearl Harbor. But we eventually later on helped them rebuild, didn't we? When everything was all put into peaceful bases and levels and whatnot, right? After that, then we helped them rebuild. And what we didn't help them rebuild, they did themselves. Of course, I'm sure. If we didn't do it to the full extent. So, Chuck Schumer, what are you going to do now? What are you going to say now? You cannot say anything more, Chuck Schumer, because you know you lied to the American people and to the media. You know that Mitch McConnell did the right decision and made the right decision in the acquittal of Donald J. Trump. And you know damn well that the Republicans don't fear Trump. So, Chuck Schumer, do note, every lie you have said, even in judgment, that you've said, even before Donald J. Trump became our president, and after, and during, you and your soul will be walking down the path of the pits of hell, side by side with Nancy Pelosi and every other constituent within the Socialist Liberal Democratic Party. And who's to say, maybe Mitt Romney might join you. That's, of course, up to Heavenly Father on that one now, isn't it? outside the political aspect of things. But until then, it's also up to the American people of his fate, even in the political office and surrounding. Your fate has been chosen already, Chuck Schumer. You've made it easy, an easy choice. So has Nancy Pelosi, though. Even after what she did after the speech from yesterday afternoon and evening, and so did Jerry Brown, and of course, gradually, Gavin Newsom is showing his fate too. Yes, Gavin Newsom used to be a moderate Republican mayor of San Francisco. For some stupid illogical shit reason, in order to stay in political office, he chose to be lieutenant governor side by side with the illogical, sinful, socialist jackass Jerry Brown. And when shit went down and awry, he took off on his jet plane, according to many statements. Whether it's true or not, hey, only history can say on that one. And only Heavenly Father himself knows for a fact. There might be some actual reported statements that he did take off while there was a lot of negative shit happening, leaving Jerry Brown alone to deal with it, which is unbecoming of a lieutenant governor. That's supposed to be for and about the people of every state that they govern or help govern in general. Of course, Jerry Brown did the most illogical, sinful, unconstitutional, unbecoming of a governor. The actions that he did. And the statements he said were also sinful and unbecoming. But of course, he doesn't give a damn about that because he thinks he was just in the right. He was not. He was never in the just. He was never in the right. As I've said many times, any liberal, socialist, jackass, Democrat that does anything in the sense of a sinful action and wording that doesn't go towards the base of beneficial for and to the American people in this country and our youth, and the actions that they do that shows no beneficial positive things to and for the American people in this country and our youth will go into the pits of hell. Shows their credibility has gone down to the bitter end. And with the fact that I know their credibility, they think that they will be able to stay above water in order to be in office. Yes, again. Anytime you do the American people wrong, Chuck Schumer, and lie and deceive the American people, and BS the media and the American people, your fate has been answered. Your fate has been chosen. You will no longer serve a purpose that you think you are serving when basically the only purpose you're serving is not positive, it's not logical, and it's not positively spiritual either. Chuck Schumer. So Chuck Schumer, you want to fucking face me? Come on. I'll tell you. I'll fucking tell you more. I'll tell Nancy Pelosi more. Believe me. The basic fact is that I know you'll want to have the news media right there as I say it, right? So be it. I am for and about this country, and I am for and about the American people and our youth. And I am 100% behind the Constitution and Donald J. Trump, and I'm 100% side by side with each of those two things, and the American people and our youth. I am a true humanitarian. Thereby, Chuck Schumer, you've lost your humanitarian aspects and prospects. You've gone to the points of Satan's minion, just like Hitler did. So has Nancy Pelosi and every one of your other constituents within the Democratic Party. And of course, obviously, you're trying to pull in a spiritual person, you called godly, being Mitt Romney, to join. And guaranteed, if he befriends you still and sides with you in the sense of going against Trump, believe me, he'll be going right to the pits of hell along with you, Chuck Schumer. He may have served humanity in a spiritual sense positively outside the political genre, but it has to go on beyond the political genre as well as inside the political aspects. Thereby, if he sides in the sense of going against the president that's done many positive things for and about the American people in beneficial aspects, positive beneficial aspects for the American people and our youth in this country, then Mitt Romney will, more often than not, more surely go along with you and Nancy Pelosi and the other constituents within the liberal Democratic Party in the pits of hell. And I'm not putting any judgment, again, on that aspect. Would be up to Heavenly Father, but I'm basically putting my aspects if Mitt Romney continues on the liberal, following the liberal socialist agenda and practices, then he will go into the pits of hell. The basic fact is, I am a spiritual man myself. I don't have to show it all the time. I'm not expected to. The basic fact is I'm also a humanitarian, a true humanitarian, who cares about the future of every American person out that window, who cares about every American person all across the United States of America, who cares about every American person, even who are not currently living in the U.S. of A. Who has supported our troops ever since I knew about them. Can you say the same, Mitch McConnell? Mitch McConnell, can I know that? But can you, Chuck Schumer? You might try to, but your credibility and level of trust, Chuck Schumer, has fallen faster than you think. You think it might have risen. It hasn't. It has not. Each time you deceive and lie to the American people, even when it comes to Donald J. Trump and the Republican Party, your credibility and trust values plummet. Their base of your the base of your aspect of the base of humanity when it comes to you, Chuck Schumer, is you're no longer known as a true humanitarian, and you're no longer known as a true American citizen on in the support and benefiting the American people and our youth in this country. You're no longer known in any positive light. Neither is Nancy Pelosi at this rate. Neither is Kamala Harris. Neither is every other liberal idiot that I can easily mention that I have mentioned in every one of my other videos. Besides this one. Yes, Chuck Schumer, you are the lowest of the low. This most sinful politician next to Nancy Pelosi, next to Kamala Harris, next to Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, Darrell Steinberg, and several others. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Tom Steyer, Mike Bloomberg, Joe Biden, all will go into the pits of hell. You're probably wondering, how is he able to decide? I'm not the one to decide, granted. But the basic fact is that when I know that the American people have been lied to and deceived in believing into, or the liberal Democrats have outright without provocation and with and without malice have lied and deceived the American people, even in accordance to with the collaboration of the Obama administration, and who also have lied and deceived the American people and showed no true beneficial of anything on any level to and for the American people in this country and our youth. The basic fact is, I know Heavenly Father would back me up on that. I have faith and belief that He would. So therefore, if I feel that you should go into the pits of hell, I'm sure in some spiritual aspect that and what have you that Heavenly Father would agree. Thereby, he's probably right now, even from the very beginning, deciding your fate, as well as the fate spiritually of your souls and your own being after your life is after your life is done on this planet. Hell, He may take you in your sleep. Who knows? Nobody really knows when that's going to happen now, do they? But it could happen to you, Chuck Schumer, and you wouldn't be able to do a damn thing about it. So, Chuck Schumer, you better fucking count your chickens before they hatch, before you do or say anything else. You want to fucking do a face-to-face talk with me? Hey, I'm open. You won't like what I say. You may not agree with what I say. You may consider what I say to be a joke, like a little child type of thing. When I'm being 100% serious and straightforward and honest. Everything I've told the American people on every one of my advocate videos has been 100% the truth. I will never lie to the American people like you did, Chuck Schumer. like you have done, Chuck Schumer. Like Nancy Pelosi has done, Chuck Schumer. Like every other idiot in the liberal socialist democratic party has lied to the American people and deceived the American people. And acting like, oh, everything that the liberals say is true, when it's a load of shit. You deceive the American people, Chuck Schumer, and if your party deceives the American people, your your whole very soul and being will be always in question. Thereby, everything you say that is a bullshit, deceiving lie, in the sense of deception, lies, and much other negative, sinful bullshit things that you liberals have done and said and have acted upon, will be put on record, spiritually as well as in historical aspects, as well as in every other aspect, and it's nothing in the beneficial for the party of the liberal socialist Democrats. That would make the liberal socialist Democrats look so rosy and bright when it's a load of shit. What's going to really read in the historical books is that the liberals went from benefiting the American people in every positive level and attribute and what have you, into the points of going against and turning their backs on the American people. And the Republicans had to do make sure that the American people were more than benefited, even if the liberal Democrats were showing their backs against and towards the American people. And acting, and while the liberal Democrats were showing that they were not turning their backs on the American people, when really they were, and they still are, even to this day, that the liberal Democrats have turned their backs on the American people, and in all illogical bullshit, in the sense of promoting socialism, and socialism has never been a pretty sight. It wasn't in the Hitler regime, and it's not, and it will never be in the base of socialism in accordance to the liberal Democrats. It will be the repeat of what happened during the Hitler regime. Maybe it'll play out differently, but it will connect in so many ways, that it will not be any different than what happened in the Hitler regime. No American person wants that. No American person deserves that shit. We deserve to have beneficial, positive things spiritually and otherwise. The true American way of life, freedom, rights, and separation from government, like the Constitution written by our forefathers has established. So therefore, Chuck Schumer, you are not for and about this country, and or nor do you even side with the American people or the Constitution. So don't bullshit. Mitch McConnell, I salute you, my brother, and thank you for acquitting the President Donald J. Trump. And I say Donald J. Trump for 2020. And to the American people, do note, I am for you, American people, but I am not for socialism. And I pray and hope that you will not believe anything that the liberal Democrats say or try to bullshit their way through. American people, I can guarantee you, the liberal Democrats are not for and about the American people or this country or our youth. They'll just lie through their little fucking teeth and say that they are when really they're not. They'll try to make statements and phony bullshit stories. Guaranteed on that. So join me in voting Donald J. Trump for 2020 as our United States President. He will continue to do many things for us as he's done in his short amount of time that he's been in the White House, that he's already completed. Case in point, what he's done for that little girl when it came to her education, and when it came to the one one mother of her two children when one of our servicemen, our military servicemen, came home and showed up at in during the speech, and many other things that he's done that's positive, even even in between the fact that he gave the Presidential Congressional Medal of Honor to Rush Limbaugh. And by the way, again, Rush Limbaugh, congratulations, my friend. Keep up the good work, and believe me, our prayers are with you that you will survive and succeed the fight that you are currently facing, Rush. And again, as I said in my earlier video today, that Gavin Newsom, Darrell Steinberg, Nancy Pelosi, and the other socialist jackass in New York City, the governor of New York City, has a short time, and it's almost past the 24-hour attribute right now. Well, it's not that close to it yet, but it's in climbing. I'd say by 4 o'clock tomorrow, if not sooner than 4 o'clock, the 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 sanctuary status, the sanctuary state and city status, and its policies better be taken down and obliterated. Because as I mentioned in the late video of mine of C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian Advocate, that we already had loss of life because of the policies of the sanctuary city and state status. The ICE police had to release the illegal immigrant idiots who committed crimes and who had a crime record in general. And those same idiots fucking killed innocent people after their release. They could have easily done the positive thing and done the most humanitarian thing, but no, they kept on. They were doing things out of hate and malice and anger and sinful other shit, as if it was anyone's fault for making them commit crimes when it was their own choice. In spiritual viewing, it will be seen that way and otherwise. But they had no right to kill people in general, no matter what the reason was, no matter what their excuse was. It's because of the illogical, sinful Democrats and the sanctuary city status and policies, city and state status and policies, is why those lives were lost by those illegal immigrants who committed crimes after being caught. Once they are caught again, they better be incarcerated, if not shot, to the point of being dead. So there hopefully would be no more other loss of life of innocent people done caused by an illegal immigrant with a criminal record, or even with the start of a criminal record. So Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Darrell Steinberg, governor and mayor of New York, you don't have much time left to take down the sanctuary city and state status and its policies, which are both unconstitutional anyway. And believe me, your conscience will eat away at you on that one too, by the way. It'll even eat away at Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and many of your socialist, liberal, democratic constituents in every state, even Washington, D.C. I will have both the speech and the talk of with Mitch McConnell and that Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer did, even with the fact that Chuck Schumer bullshitted his way through the the talk with the media after the Senate, after of the situation within the Senate. That is, believe me, I am 100% behind the Constitution. I am 100% behind the American people and our youth and this country. I will not. I will not side with any socialist agenda. I will not side nor promote any socialist agenda. There was a time I would have supported the liberal Democrats, or be that, of course, the Democrats in general. But they've shown their true colors that they are tired of doing things that mostly benefit the American people. They're tired of doing things that mostly benefit the American people more than it does the politicians. The forefathers didn't put the two parties in the way they formed it to where it would benefit the party as well as the American people. They made it to where the American people were mostly benefited by the positive things that the politicians do for this country and the American people and the future for both, including for our youth and their future. The liberal Democrats have lost their way on that aspect. They've gone to the points of wanting beneficial things for them more so than the American people. Way more so, even to the points where only what benefits the socialist liberal Democrats only. That goes to the base of corruption, sinful actions, and many other things. And it goes to the points to where the socialist liberal Democrats are only about one person themselves. They're not about this country, or the future, the positive, bright future of and for this country, and the positive, beneficial, and bright future for both our youth and the American people all in one. The only ones that are truly about the American people and the positive, bright future for this country and the American people and our youth are Trump and the rest of the conservative Republicans and the regular Republicans, including Mitch McConnell. So, this election, vote Trump for 2020. Let's teach those liberal jackasses a lesson. Let's teach the liberal Democrats a lesson. Never to deceive and lie to the American people, no matter what. This is C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian Advocate. Have a good day, stay safe, stay alive, and may Heavenly Father bless the United States of America and our youth and the American people. And may Heavenly Father bless our troops and Trump and and the Trump administration and Mitch McConnell. And I salute Trump and our troops. And and I thank our troops for their service. And keep up the good work, Donald J. Trump and Mike Pence. Have a good day.